Bernard, and we are live. We're going to be doing small wallets today. So, a few of the ones with the two pockets and these here minimalist wallets. So, excuse me while I get the music rolling, and then we will get started. Shouldn't take very long. All right. And I'm about to monitor the chat. So hold on, let me open this window up. Let me know if the music is too loud also. All right, cool. Let's rotate this. And that should be good. All right, so we're not doing these ones here with the multiple pockets. We're doing the ones that have that will go together a lot easier. So we're going to be prepping for a bunch of these. But first, we're going to knock out some of these here. And I'm going to take care of this one because I've been procrastinating on it. So I'm going to line this with this and then cut out a piece, and then we'll get that started. I'm actually on the back end of using up all of my barge, so it's been a while. I think maybe 3 years, 3.5, something like that. Maybe a little bit more. Should have had this flipped over. Hopefully everybody's getting something out of these bad boys. Oh, also, I had a market on Thursday. Did pretty well. What usually tends to happen to me in these markets is that people will come by pretty early, see what I got, have a little bit of interest, and as they're walking about the market, they'll either swing by towards the middle or the very end of the market. So I don't get very many sales right when I get there, which is a little disheartening. But on the back end, people show not only interest, but they come through for the sale. which, again, I am very thankful for. I do have to fill out my paperwork and slide Uncle Sam and Uncle Texas their taxes. It's a little bit different for me. So there's no income taxes in Texas, but since my company is a business, not a person, the company has to pay taxes. It's a little weird, but long story short, I've got to do a bunch of paperwork and send off some money every quarter. But the market was good, so I'm happy about that. Progress is progress. And I believe that this is high enough, but we're just going to make sure, cover all these bases. And yep, high and wide enough. Let that go tacky for a bit. And so we're going to cut the piece out that coincides with this, and then that will be it for these wavy pockets that require multiple pieces. Next up is just going to be prepping for this, cutting those parts out and getting them ready to go. What is going on here? Oh, I was wrong. I'm going to be cutting out one of these pieces. I was wondering why that was so small. So yeah, this goes off to the side. This stays. And that is why we double check things. You know what? Hold on. Let me go ahead and spread the live here. Let's get some more folks in here. Copy that. And then spread the word. Boom. Double it up. And we're going to be doing the Instagram stories because that's how we roll. Do the words. Give me a different background because that is crazy. Here we go. And yeah, I'm typing it in. Boom. All right. So that should hopefully be it. Okay, so now here we go. The world has been informed, and let's get this rolling. And I've only got 2 hours before I have to start getting ready. So This piece here is going to be the corresponding matching pieces for this here. Basically a dead-on color match, so we love that. This to the side. Now, what I didn't do is I didn't match, I don't have a exact match for the lining piece. You can see that this here is, it's a little bit different. It's not 100% so far as how this will look, but it's significantly thinner than this piece. So it will be it will still function really, really well as a liner. So let's do that. Let's give myself something close to a straight edge here. It's not 100%, but it doesn't need to be. You know what they say, good enough for government work. And boom. Let's ensure that is well and bonded, nice and smooth, easy day. And here we go. Come on. There we go. Boom. And cuts. Nice. So, back piece, front piece. Now we'll cut out the middle. We got it properly lined up. And cuts. Cuts. Boom. Nice and sleek. Too small. Too small. Useful, but not in the position that it was in. So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and add the logo. I think I'm going to go for a very shameless large logo. Yep. Because why not, right? You got to be shameless sometimes. Got to be a little bit shameless. almost ruined it, but it's still all good. Boom. Encouragement. Got it right there. Lift this up and out of the way. Boom. One more time. There we go. All right. And here we are. Hope that's really good and in focus there. So that's what we're rolling with. Boom. Next up, the glorious glue spreader. One of these days I'm going to do a stream where I'm drinking. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Technically I've done one, but it was towards the back end. Everything was mostly done, so alcohol was consumed. Fun times. I'm oddly liking these live streams, although I do need to get a different camera for it. I like what I got going on here. It's just, wish I could control a few features a little better. The white balance for one. It's auto, so it does it on its own. And sometimes things look a lot better when the white balance is set to a particular field. Nice and smooth. Easy day. Bam. So I really like these. Although I'm going to start making more of the, I guess, regular leathers, if you want to call them that. Your farmland wallets. Things like cowhide or horsehide or goat. Less of the exotics. As much as people find them interesting, most folks maybe just aren't familiar enough with them to want to buy them. And you know, you got to give the customer what they want. It's Business 101. I found a fun fact. It's been said for the better part of 2 centuries, the customer is always right. Turns out that phrase is the better part of 3 centuries old, and it's only one part of a whole phrase. It's in matters of taste, the customer is always right. So, even though I think people would be better suited getting one of these exotic wallets, they look more interesting, they feel better, they'll certainly last longer. Most folks are just unfamiliar with them, so not going to sell too many. It's unfortunate, but you have to give people what they want. It'll all be worth it when I'm bought out by some large company like Estee Lauder or something. And by worth it, I mean I'll be able to retire on a beach somewhere. Just chill out. Not sure who we got in the chat, but I'm glad that you showed up and you're rocking out with me. I appreciate it. If you got anything that you want to say or any questions that you have, by all means, go ahead and ask. I'm not taking requests right now, but towards the end of the stream, anything's possible. And if I'm making something and you decide that you want it, let me know in the comments, and I will contact you via Instagram or Facebook, and we can arrange something. And let me cut this on so I can see if anybody is participating in the chat here. Not seeing anybody, but let me go on ahead and refresh. Boom. Put that right here. Come on now. Why is it doing me like that? I want my music. All right, nothing in the chat so far, but it's all good. Let's put this away. Maybe that's hindering the musical flow here. There we go. Volume's good. And that glue has gotten tacky, so hopefully the all right. No, stop dropping things. All right. Nice and aligned. We like proper alignments. There we go. And that's ready to go. No, I just dropped stuff I didn't want to drop, but it's all good. Nope, we're not going to use that. We are going to use, we're going to clear off the space first. So we're going to make a bunch of these. So this is a simple minimalist wallet. So when it's done, you'll have a pocket for cards and a flap for cash. So it'll look like so. Folded there, and then we'll have a single stitch that runs here. So cash here, cards there, easy day. So here's one. And we're going to use, since this is going to be an exterior piece, the veg bellies. And we're just going to Tetris this bad boy. So here, and then here, and then there. So we're going to get 3 out of this. And I don't think this will be big enough for anything. So this scrap here will probably turn into something like some watch bands. Unless I can get 1, 2. Yep, it's better suited right here. And of course, I left my scratch all in the car again. So we'll be doing this. So I'm not cutting all the way through. I'm just giving it a good score. I'm going to use the shears. If not these ones, then a thinner pair. If they're still here in the drawer, they might be in the car also. In which case I'll be using the thicker pair that you see here. All right. Let's go. There we go. Da 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 da. Oh, shout out to my Uncle Ray. He is the guy who's got me randomly humming tunes. That was his thing when I was growing up. He always had a tune on his mind, and it was always the same tune. Me, I've never had the same tune in my mind, but there's always something. So, shout out to Uncle Ray. Gotta get out and see him. It's been years. Yep, just barely, just like I thought. Rid of that thread. And boom. All right. And I've said it before, but the benefits, if you don't have a scratch-all, especially a good scratch-all, the benefit to using a blade is that instead of just scratching the surface, it scores the line. So it's easy to ensure that your blade is where it needs to be. And shout out to all the left-handed creators that are stuck having these right-handed tools. I don't personally know the struggle, but I know it's tough. There were a couple times where I needed to cut something with my left hand just because of the angle it was in, and I couldn't do it. I was surprised that something like scissors are something that are right hand or left hand dominant. I thought it was just pressure up and down, but it's not. Weird things you find out doing leathercraft. Another weird thing I found out is that one of the best things to apply dyes and finishes, especially on smaller projects, makeup sponges. Those right there are money. They're designed to leave fewer streaks. Truthfully, they're designed to leave no streaks, but it's almost impossible for something to 100% of the time do a thing, or 100% of the time to prevent a thing. But the makeup sponges, they come so close. Far better than daubers. I don't dislike daubers. Hell, I use them a lot, but the makeup sponges are money. That's where they're at. This could be good for inlay or practice or something. Scrap bin, trash. Normally I'm faster with the shears, but when I can hold them closer to me, it goes better, but I gotta keep these in frame, so. What's going on, Mr. Yates? I am making a bunch of small minimalist wallets. It'll look something like this here when it's done. Fold here for cards, fold here for cash, or also more cards, you know, if you just want something easily accessible. But something nice and simple. After it's nice and worn in, it'll hold easily maybe 5 cards. I sold one to one guy, and I saw him a couple of years later. He still had the same wallet. He had so many cards and stuff stuffed in there, I didn't know how he did it. That leather was at its limit, let me tell you. But he loved it. He kept it for a long time. Yeah, you missed the whole monologue I had about the benefits of using a blade for your scratch all. Looking sick. Like the way I'm tell. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you chose to tap in and come in on the live with me. These are just things I'm using to add to the inventory. So once I knock these out, because I'm going to make a few more, if you have any suggestions, like say stuff that you want to see, as long as it's not too crazy expensive, I'll knock it out. So if you're like, oh man, let me see a pink ostrich and a 2 pocket, Sure, why not? Something like that. Or, I don't know. What do I have? Blue ostrich leg or whatever. Sorry, Instagram. Okay. The link wasn't working. That's weird. I copied straight from YouTube. It should have went right over. Well, either way, I'm glad that you chose to tap in. I appreciate it. Okay. Well, let me cut let me cut a few more. Well, truthfully, I've only got one more left to cut of these, and only thing I've got to do with them is clean up the edges, which I'll do before stitching. So once these are cut and I bevel the edges, I'll start parading some stuff across the screen. If you want to see all what I got. Yep. I am a big fan of the leather shears for smaller projects. I prefer the leather shears over the blades like this or the utility knives or anything like that because you get to hold it nice and smooth. If I was making something larger like a bag, oh yeah, I'm going with a strong blade 100 times out of 100. Plus, it's easier to cut a curve with a project that you can just hold as opposed to with the blade. You're either making several radius cuts. I'm not sure if that's a proper term for it or not, but that's what I call it. All right. Trash. All right. So I got 4 of these ready to go. Yep. I should have put this on here. And that doesn't need to be there. Stash that. Let's not break the patterns because I broke it already. You saw there was a crack on there. Here we go. It does. I mean, it is. It is very pleasant, especially when you get closer to a finish point. Feels really good. Here we go. It does not need to be this big. There we go. And that's better for the camera. Boom. Appreciate the like. Thank you very much. So, having spoken with the guy that runs the Tandy Leather in the city that's closest, or the closest Tandy Leather to me where I live, because I live kind of in a small town in South Texas, and I have the Pure Neats foot oil. In my head, the Pure stuff is better. He prefers the oil compound, which is a synthetic version of the neat's foot oil. Um, it's just his preference. I think the synthetic stuff is a little cheaper, so in my head, natural is better. However, the economy is what the economy is, so get what fits your budget. Then compare the two later once things turn around. I'll be putting my stamp into those later. Probably not on stream, honestly. It's just, well, one, you can't see me doing it, but it's gonna extend what I got going on here. Oh yeah, these prices are crazy. And as opposed to 2.5 years ago, um, it's less of a supply chain thing and more of prices are just going up. I don't know if there's a lack of people to do a thing. I don't know if there's a lack of truckers or if there's a lack of skills or anything like that. I think it's that inflation is going up and companies are just matching their stuff, making sure that they don't lose much, which I understand. I dislike it. I dislike the results, but I understand why. It's basic economics, honestly. Well, truthfully, it's something more than basic economics, but it's still an economics principle. What does this say here? Yep. I mean, were I drinking, I would speak more about it. Yep. I try to stay away from my thoughts on things like politics or economics, inflation, like my actual personal beliefs on it. If it's not a later stream where there's alcohol involved, um, usually on those sorts of streams is when I'm doing more tooling and artwork because artwork on the leather with with intoxication not bad. Blades and cutting and stuff with intoxication, recipe for disaster. Hard no. You try live streaming on TikTok. You know what? I want to, and I probably will. Is just I want to see how to stream on multiple platforms. Right now, I'm only ever doing just YouTube, or every now and then it's just Instagram. So we'll see what's what. I have been getting more and more page views and likes and whatnot on Instagram. Excuse me, not Instagram, on TikTok. So we'll see. We'll see. From one of the guys I follow, he's an artist and he streams on TikTok and Kick, which I've, I've heard of, but I thought it was just a communication platform like Messenger or Skype or something like that. But apparently they have streaming, so I'll check it out. I don't know if it's a social media platform or if it's an entertainment thing like how Twitch is. I've heard a lot of video gamers are on it. So we'll see. Also, man, sometimes I feel like I'm too old to be streaming on TikTok. I feel incredibly out of place over there. I mean, I'll post the videos and stuff, but usually I'll just make it on Instagram and then swing it on over, and then that's it. I feel like every time I open up TikTok, I feel like I need a walker. Yeah, like a rival with Twitch. Okay. Yeah, I'll check them out. Truthfully, the smart move for business is to go where the eyeballs are. That's why I focus more on Instagram and YouTube. But move this out the way. This shouldn't even be here. But from what I hear, there's a lot of engagement on TikTok. People tap in and watch your stuff and get a lot of likes, which pushes the algorithm. So, you know, all that good stuff. But there we go. So, if we remember how this stuff looked before, it was a very, very pale, like this. And now we've got this going on here from just the neat's foot oil. And if I let it sit out in the sun for a couple of days, it'll darken up a little bit more. It'll be this, I mean, in my opinion, this is a really beautiful brown as it is, or I guess a mild or a medium tan. Let it sit out in the sun for a couple of days. You'll get this glorious color, and then I'll stitch it up. So we'll see how that works. Just be accessible and easy. Yep. Yep. And the weird part about my house is that I get a lot of natural light, but because of the direction that my house faces, I don't get any direct sunlight in my windows. So it's great for just good lighting, but to have these be in proper sunlight, I have to set them outside. I don't want to do that because it's windy, so I might mess them up. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll get these a lot darker. I'll let these darken up a bit before I sew them up. Okay. Well, truthfully, we are as far as we're gonna get with putting small these small wallets together. Again, got this one here ready to roll. This is elephant with a horse hide, and with I got my stamp right there, and then the material that the inside is lined with is a goat. It's goat hide that this and this are lined with. So nice and slim, feels really, really good. Once it's all stitched up, I'm sure it'll go to somebody who will really, really appreciate the look and the slimness of it. Thank you very much. And all right, so now I've gotten about as far as I can get on that without running it through the press, putting the logo on there and everything like that. So let me move this out of the way so I don't stain anything, and then I'll start bringing stuff across the camera that you might want to see. Boom. All right. Let's remove all the sharps. Bam. Let's go. Okay. Oh, wait, don't need this either. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, this one here this template is this style of wallet here. And let me see. Actually, I don't have any already sewn up versions of this one here. I think I have some pictures that I posted a while ago, but basically it'll look like this. Come on, fold into place. Here we go. It'll look like so. Put the cash there, put the cards there. Nice and smooth, easy day. All right, so you said you had some questions about the material that I have. So, what would you like to start with? Do you want to see some cowhides, or do you want to see some other stuff that's, or I would say, do you want to see some plain veg tan cowhides, like some of this here that these came from? I've got other stuff like kangaroo. This is what's left of this particular color here. And I love kangaroo because it's normally very thin, but it's very fibrous. Per thickness, it's the strongest leather that we have. So the amount of pressure that it would take to just tear through or push through on cowhide would not tear through or push through on kangaroo. It's a really, really great leather, great for interiors, great for things like gloves or things that are going to get put to use because it'll last a good while. I have that metal minimalist. I want to look into getting one from you. Let me scroll up here and see what that is. Okay, sweet. So we'll go over all the leather stuff, definitely. Kangaroo, I love. The only downside is obviously it's only coming from Australia, and kangaroo hides. The primary you're only really gonna get the back from like the back of the neck down to the tail, because even though their bodies are really really big, especially the larger like say red tail kangaroos and whatnot, large flat open expanses they don't have on them like cows and things like that, cows and bison. So you're not going to get really really big kangaroo hides, but still very very useful. You're not really going to find it very thick though, so if you were trying to get kangaroo for the outside of something, you're going to need to either have that as the outside and have something else thicker as a liner, or use bag stiffener. There we go. Here's an example of bag stiffener. This is an older model. What Tandy has is newer. It's a different color and it moves better. Like you can see just from how this is moving here, you're starting to see it's not rolling, it's bending a bit. The stuff that Tandy has now is a lot better. I use this for my patterns. If I have stuff that I have to print out, I'll just print it out, glue it to this, cut it out, and then bam. So that is an example of kangaroo. You can get it in a lot of colors. So like this, a much lighter, paler, like this, black. Maverick Leather Factory has it in multiple colors all over. And then also with different finishes. Sort of like the finish that you see on upholstery, where it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not quite the same as veg tan. That stuff's pretty good, and their prices are really solid. I've never had an issue with Maverick or their prices or their availability. So another great place to find stuff is from Maverick. Side note, not sponsored, but Maverick, please sponsor your boy. What else do we got here? This is a horse hide. This is a horse front from Horween. I don't know if I have any pieces with the maker label on the back. Please let me have some. I don't see it. That's terrible. Must have used it all. But still, Horsehide's really, really great. Feels great. Moves very, very well. I think I had a new chat. Okay, no. And normally not very thick. I'm not sure if that's a nature of the hide, nature of horsehide, or if that's just how most tanneries make it. The thickest that I've ever seen horsehide was specifically from the back end, the horse butt, and apparently that part of the hide on horses is always thick, and I believe the front part of the horse hide is always significantly thinner. But I don't think I've ever seen horsehide much thicker than this. Maybe this thick. Feels really, really good. Yep. And it's available in a ton of different colors and a ton of different finishes. I've had some that was nice and smooth like this, and I've had some that had a bit of a texture similar to this, actually a little bit more with the texture there. Horsehide is really, really great, especially for your slim wallets or to put on the interiors if you want to keep the thickness of the material down. All right, one more really weird one. I love it because it's a great piece to have on the interior because it adds a little bit of pop, and that is patent leather. It's nice and slim, has a great feel to it. It feels, because of how smooth it is, it feels really, really great. And again, it keeps the bulk down in your particular wallet. I've never tried to skive down patent leather. I'm sure it's possible because it does have some thickness to it. But because of generally how slim it is, I just cut it, set it, forget it. Easy day. For if I was going to do something that was specifically dressy, say I was making something for someone who I know wears suits a lot, or somebody says that they're making it for somebody for specific occasions, then I would have something like this. Feels good, looks good. I don't know if I'd have this for the exterior because of how light in color it is. So if it got dirty, it would look worse. But interior pieces, absolutely. Looks great, feels great. It stands out, and people like it. People like it. One that I got because I realized I didn't have much of any this color was this pale green, and I forgot that I had it. Then I received all my household goods, and it was underneath a bunch of stuff. I got this from Tokyu Hands in, I believe, Shinjuku. That or Shibuya. Those are the ones I went to the most. So this was 2,000 yen, so roughly 20 bucks for, quite honestly, a fair amount. Really got my money's worth on this one, in my opinion. Good stuff. Feels great. I've only used it once, though. It's one of those things where if it's best if I'm making something that is green because it's a nice contrast on the inside. I've only had a couple of requests for green things though. It's one of those things that it sits on my shelf and I want to use it, but it only goes well with a few things. And I don't want to make something that looks like a hodgepodge. There will come a day, I assure you. Of course, stuff would fall down on my stream. Come on, stay up there. Here's another horsehide that I have. I love this one. Now, this one, significantly different texture, but I love the color, and it is just as thin. Now, the back looks a lot different. This one's pretty smooth, especially this section right here. The back of this one, significantly more rough. Good For interior pieces, also pretty good for liners. So if I had a slimmer piece, like for instance, even one of these, where's it at? Here we go. So they color match pretty well. This is really thin. This is pretty thin. So if I were to use this as a liner, it would go well with each other. So and this also has what's referred to as pull-up. There are liqueurs and fats that were infused into this when they were making it. So you get a lot of this action here. The upside to leathers with pull-up is that if there are some minor nicks and scratches, you can just rub it. The oils in your finger, or the oils in your hand, will help to mask and cover that up. So it'll it'll end up with this really, really nice look, and the nicks and the scratches kind of buff out. After a while, it'll look amazing with the patina. So that's why I keep this one. So the feel of it, objectively, this feels better. And after a while, after it's patina, after, with time and use, it'll get darker. It'll be this nice, beautiful burgundy color. But this one, after a while, will look outstanding. This one will still feel better physically, but this one will have a nicer look to it. Green's your favorite color, so it got my attention. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Well, if Meet the Parents was had any truth to it, people who choose green are geniuses. So there you go. If De Niro said it, I'll believe it. Never mind, he's a paid actor. Doop-de-doo. This one that's more of the same. Okay. Gravity is not on my side today. Then this beautiful blue bad boy right here, I believe, is a calfskin. Let me slide this over further so it stops falling down. So these are all of the same type, not this one. And these are great as liners, not so great for interior pieces because they flop around. The other ones are, even though they were thin, they were pretty sturdy. There's less floppiness. I mean, sure, they're thin, but these are not ideal for interior pieces like this, or for pieces like card slots. Not ideal. Can be used for it, but not ideal. So that's mainly what I have these for, are for liners. I love purple. Purple's one of my favorite colors. So when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. And it's one of those things where the liners are where you get to express yourself, because the only people that really get to see it are you, or people that you choose to show it to. So say, for instance, I wanted to use, and I will be doing it soon, I just don't know when. So say somebody ordered something like this for their friend who was a Harry Potter fan. I have some Harry Potter, or the Houses of Hogwarts liner. It's cloth, it's not leather. I would put that liner here. Only people would see it are the person who bought it, because they're going to see it, and the person who receives it. It's an opportunity to show a little bit of creativity, some self-expression. Same thing with liners. You could have a regular, standard, run-of-the-mill brown or black wallet. Open it up, bam, purple right on the inside, just cuz. I like these sorts of things, and I like to give those options to people if they want to have those, or if they don't ask or they do something really silly like give me creative control. You better believe there will be some wild pops of color in there. All right, so those are some of the options for leather for liners or just interior pieces in general. But you do have other options to use inside your pieces. So this is gilded cork. I love this stuff as a liner. We were just talking about having those, creative little pops of color. What pops more than gold? Let me tell you, nothing. And this, it is cork with the gold flake painted on here, and it's backed with a fabric. So you have the strength of the cork material plus strength of the fabric. This is really, really great to be on the inside of things like wallets or purses, things like that. Then little things like this. Again, the houses of Hogwarts. I have a Roper style wallet that I need to, actually two Roper style wallets that I need to add this to, because I did a poll and folks picked the Hogwarts houses over this, and I think there was some other material there that I had chosen. Another option that is very viable, especially nowadays, is this here. This is not just some silver thread. This is RFID blocking material. So for people who are concerned about the safety of their cards or the safety of their information inside their wallets in general, if asked, they can receive this RFID blocking material. Now, this is an incredibly thin material, and I found this out the hard way here. When you're applying your adhesive, it will soak through. So when that happens, and truthfully, with any material that is woven like this, or like the excuse me, like the gilded cork or the Harry Potter information or Harry Potter fabric, got to have a really sturdy and usable piece of crepe rubber. So the excess that comes through across the top, you just hit it with the eraser. The stuff that's on the top will rub off. This was actually not bleed through. This was stuff that was applied on. But got to make sure that you remove the excess. Otherwise, you'll have this, and it's really unseemly, untenable. You don't want to hand your customer something like that. Now, what you could do, and it'll technically add another layer, but it's a crazy thin layer, is have this lay in between the liner material. So their RFID protection is there, but it's not visible. You just have to make sure that if you offer that, then you actually have to really do it instead of just telling them that it's there and charging more. That's called a scumbag move. Don't do that. Be a good person. If they ask for the protection for that and you have the capability, provide that to them. Here's one of my favorites. I love this. I love this as a liner. It's very, very thin, and it's a great thing to offer people who are getting something made as a gift. And again, it's a nice way to just show a pop of color, but have it still be a part of the project. Like, for instance, this here is cowhide. This is calf skin. And so say somebody got this, and the outside piece would be some calf skin. I think I have it inside this container here. When they open it up, bam, hearts and love. Who doesn't love that, right? You can use your liners as a way to give your customers something that they weren't expecting. And it's a way to have something that isn't conventionally in a piece there in the piece. For those of us who dabble in the exotic leathers, especially ostrich, we all know that everybody wants the quilled portion of the ostrich, but there's a huge chunk of ostrich hide that has as little to no quill marks on it. Like this is very, very thin, very, very small very, very small amount of marking with the quill. Excuse me, with the quill marks. And this here has none. This is incredibly thin. This is perfect for a liner. This will be great for things like holsters because it's so thin, but it's super tough. So if you're making a knife sheath or a gun holster and you wanted to have a liner in it, this right here, absolutely perfect. And it allows for whoever purchased it to get maximum use out of all the hide instead of the section that just has the quills on it. And all right, now we'll roll on into the slightly thicker leathers. This is a horse hide. This is a horse front. And this is, I'm not sure if you can see it there, but much thicker. Well, much. Notably thicker than the first one here. But as much as this one here will stand up on its own because it's nice and sturdy, this one here, this bad boy's flopping over every single time. 100%. This, again, ideal for interior pieces. This, not at all. Maybe the large expanse for the back piece of a wallet on the interior, or maybe as the exterior of a wallet because it does feel really, really good. But interior pieces for the card slots and whatnot, only the parts in the middle that are thicker than the parts towards the end. Anything else, better off as a liner or better off as an outer exterior piece because of how good it feels. Just watch out for things like scratches, scars, maybe some brand markings. But I love this stuff here. It's horsehide. I want to say I got this one from Maverick, in which case it's probably Horween. They have a lot of seconds, and they are outstanding. I love their stuff. Again, Maverick, please sponsor me. Come on. Here we go. Nope. Too small of a piece. All right. This is goat skin. And it's made this way. So you have the centerpiece that has this more matte suede finish. And then the outer pieces have a pressed and gloss finish. You can't tell me this doesn't look good. If you do, I'm going to get you some glasses. This stuff looks great and it feels outstanding. The back is all one solid piece, so you can use either side as a liner. I love how this looks. I love how this feels. So this is the skin side. This is the flesh side. Either one that you want to use, it's great. It's amazing. Shout out to Peter Knits, because I think 100% of what he uses for liners are goat skin. He uses this French goat skin, or at least the tannery is from France. And his stuff looks outstanding. And that man 100% hand stitches everything. He is, he's the goat. There. Yeah, nice little tie-in. We were talking about using the liner for pops of color. And what more than this? I love this. I've used this a bunch of times for pops of color. So I made this belt here. Also, we got, for the folks who just tapped in, I appreciate you showing up. Go on ahead, drop me a comment so I know who you are so I can give you a shout out. But, so we've got this belt here. This is cowhide with purple ostrich as accent on the tip here. It is a shorter belt. Obviously, this is made for women. Were it longer, then it would be made for men. I really do think purple is one of those all-around colors. Anybody can rock it. If this were bigger, I'd certainly be wearing it. But not all belts need a liner, but this belt has a liner. And I love this little pop of color, a little bit of attention. Oh, that's pretty. Do you do anything? Yes, I do. What's going on, Mr. What's going on, Horacio? What's up? What's up? Yep. Thank you for tapping in on the live stream. So, the little pops of color, or in this case, a big pop of color, these sorts of things are nice touches. I really thought that this would be a good touch for whichever lady would be gracious enough to want to go ahead and buy this off of me. This is also one of the first examples that I had of using my belt, using my new machine for belts. So there's that. And I think we've talked about the liners for a while. So now we're going to roll into the different types of hides that I've got. So we'll start off swinging big for the fences. This here comes from the glorious Horween factory based out of Chicago. So what's happening right now is it's got bloom on it. This hide has a lot of fats and liqueurs in it. So it being in this room, climate controlled, it's colder. So some of those have seeped up to the top. So if I wanted to have this hide look how it normally looks, I'd have to buff it. And then, I'd move it around, I'd heat it up, it would sink back into the skin. So let me go on ahead and break something out right now for that, so you can see what I'm talking about. And although it hurts me to do this, I'm just gonna cut off a piece so that you can see, so that I'm not holding up the entire thing. Let me cut off a piece that's got some of the bloom though. So this one and another piece that I bought some years ago. This piece came from it. These two whole hides. This was also Horween. Canna was what this one was called. I'm not sure if they make this one anymore. No. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and so you can see all the bloom that's up there on the hide there. So there was a little bit of oil that was already on this sponge there. I used that because I didn't want for there to be too much friction. Oh, that's what's going on. No music. Here we go. So it's a bit glossy, but that is what this hide looks like right here. And this is a piece from the Horween tannery. When I bought this, I want to say it was about 1650 a square foot. This one was, I think, 15 per square foot. I've made several things from this one, a couple of bags, several other small pieces, 2 gun holsters. It feels great, cuts really well, burnishes outstanding. I kind of messed up on some of these things here. I could probably salvage it, but what I'm probably going to do is just cut it smaller and then still do this here fleur-de-lis accent, but I'll figure something else out and then make this into something better. I don't want to get rid of it because the piece is too big. Next up, that is blue. I got this from District Leather Factory. I love this one so much. Feels really, really great. Tons of pull up in this piece here. I've made quite a few things from this one and sold them. You know, some of the smaller wallets like this one here, one of the flap wallets, a notebook cover. It just feels amazing. One of my favorite hides to work with, bison. I don't have much of the tan bison. This is shrunken. Really, truthfully, what that means is they didn't stake it and stretch it when it was tanning like most hides are. So they didn't go through a process to make it shrink. They just allowed it to shrink in during the tanning process. And you get this pebbled texture that isn't from embossing. And there's a lot of scrapes and scratches on this one, mostly just parts of the hide. So the animal probably, you know, rubbed up against fence posts or who knows, attacked by a wolf, whatever the case. Not ideal for interior pieces. It is soft and floppy, but great for exterior pieces because of how great it feels and the look to it. See if I missed anything. How much for that belt? Your girlfriend would love it. Honestly, I don't know. I made it kind of just as practice. I didn't really think too much about it. But shoot me a message on Instagram. We'll talk price later. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you very much. I love the blue tint on it. It really is. To me, it's very appealing. Like I said before, I love me some purple. Love it, love it, love it. I've made quite a few things from this. I love the crackle texture in this here. It's not very thin. But it's also not very thick either. To me, it's the perfect size to make a lot of wallets from. A lot of interiors or exteriors because of how it looks. It's really appealing to the eye. Fire engine red. Love this one a whole bunch. Normally, I hate cutting into pieces that look really, really good like this. I love how the things turn out when this is, you know, when they're made from this one. Cuts really well, burnishes a dream, to quote Nigel Armitage. And it being red goes great with so many things. Great as an interior for a nice pop of color. Great as an exterior. Love it. This here is bison, but it was tanned in the bomber jacket style. So I love how this looks, love how this feels. Worked in my last duty station, the last 2 years in the military. I was on an aircraft carrier, so I saw a ton of bomber jackets. None quite like this bison here. But, come on out. A whole lot like this. This is what you would see a lot of other bomber jacket styles for, or in the style of here. I've made quite a few things from this. The pilots and the aircrew guys loved it. And then they asked me to make a few things like this with their unit patches on it. And they love that. I don't think anyone else has been doing that sort of thing for them too. So had quite a lot of sales from that right there. The pilots loved it. Some more. This is, I want to say, a calf skin that I got from this tannery out of France. I've had it for a while. I also didn't store it properly when it was in my household goods, so you can see some of this stuff right there. Stupid on me for doing that. Now I have to pick and choose or be real selective about where I'm cutting to use it. But it feels amazing. Feels really, really good. The things that I cut from it turns out really, really well, and it burnishes out nicely. And I believe it was veg tan too, because I've done some custom tooling on this hide as well. Where's another good one? Uh, Here we go. This one here, Dearborn from the Horween factory. The temper slash feel to this one, oh my goodness, outstanding. Love it so, so much. This is a perfect exterior. Or if you were making something really big, a great liner. It's not very thick, but as you can see, it doesn't hold up very well. So this is not ideal for pocket interiors. But say the outside of a duffel bag, as long as you had something that was nice and sturdy for a liner, this would be great for it. Although I'd have to charge a ton of money for that. This one cost me a bunch. I got it right when Horween made it. And as near as I can tell, they haven't made any more in a couple of years. So I think all that's out now is all that exists. I'm not sure off the top of my head what this one is called. Horacio in the comments would know. But this one here is beautiful medium brown with a little bit of the shimmer that's got some gold to it. I love it. I love how it looks. I'm not sure if that gold shimmer is coming through in the light here. Let me see if I can adjust it some. Where's the nope, I just made it a little too warm. Maybe if I turned it down some. Farron? Okay. So if you go to Tandy and you want one like this, and they have it in multiple colors, the Farron. I love how this looks, and it's not very thick. So this is great for exteriors and interiors, in my personal opinion. Love it so much. All right, now we're getting into the hides that are harder to show because they're just under so many things. This here is one of my favorites. This is the last that I have of the which one is this? Not the Derby. So I bought like 3 different Horween since then. Not the Chromex. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go back and look at it now. Farrowan. Okay, Farrowan is the name of that other brown one. Not Chrome XL, because I haven't bought that one yet. It's a natural tan. It's not Derby. Ugh, I'm going to be so mad. But I'll post it in the comments after. But this is the last bit that I have of the Horween of this style. Lots and lots of the pull up there. I love it so much. It feels amazing. I lucked out and got it on sale, and because they sent me a piece that was damaged before this, they gave me a voucher for a rebate. So I actually lucked out and got it on sale with a rebate. So never was going to happen again. Damn it, that's not Derby because I have Derby over here. That's going to bug me. All right, now I bought some hide from the Tannery Row. They sell a whole bunch of everything, a lot of different places. If you are an individual creator, individual maker, like we all are here watching, unless you're buying 10 hides or more, you can't buy from the Horween Tannery. But if you want to get something from them and you don't want to get a second, something that didn't pass Horween's QA, then you can buy from the Tannery Row. Not sponsored. Hashtag I wish I was. And they had a bundle deal roundabouts Christmas where you can get 3 for 1, 5 ounces or less. I'm no, sorry, not 3 for 1. You can get 3 hides, 5 ounces or less, but you didn't know what you were getting. And I jumped on that because the price was ridiculous. You couldn't beat it. Ugh. Give me a few seconds. Got to make sure nothing falls off of my rack here. So what I ended up with was these bad boys here. So this is Horween Derby at about 3-ish ounces. This one I can't remember the name of off the top of my head because I don't have the. I didn't when they sent it to me. They just told me that I got 3, and then the specific one is handwritten on the receipt, so I have to go and get that. But so I got this, and this. I guess tobacco color. It's not coming through really well on this light, but I really do like how it looks. There we go. It's a little bit better. So this tobacco one is the thickest one. See if I can rotate it. There we go. So this one's about 3-4, give or take. Gonna hop out. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for the interest, and make sure you shoot me a message if you're interested in getting that thing for your girlfriend. And if you haven't already, please remember to give me a like. I appreciate that. So this will be great for a bag. I actually have an idea for this one. So this one with a nice liner works out really well. I just have to sit down and measure everything and knock it all out. This feels really, really great because of the texture and the finish. It's really, really good for the exterior of something because it stands up really well against the scratches. This was not treated the same way that this was. So if you scratch it, the scratches will show up. But the color and the texture, outstanding. Love it. No flaws there. Swing by the Tannery Row, especially around holidays, to see if there's any sorts of deals that they might have. Not sponsored. I wish I was, though. Oh man, I'm gonna have to rearrange this whole shop now. All right, now we're gonna migrate into the thicker leathers. Let's get this off of the thing here. Now, basically all of my thicker leathers, with few exceptions, have come from Tandy. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a piece of bison that I will be turning into several belts. You can see from the thickness here. And the upside to this one, because of the thickness and because of the tight grain on the back, if you're looking to just cut and to just split the end, you can make great belts from just this. And it's also going to be a great belt if you add maybe a 2-ounce or a 3-ounce if you're going to make it much thicker for a liner. Really, really great, sturdy, great for gun belts and whatnot. I mean, and look at that color. Man, it just looks so good. I got some stuff I got to do in 90 minutes, so I won't be knocking out any major projects with that stuff. Oh, this isn't thick at all. This is in the wrong section. But some stuff I got on clearance. Is this a Horween hide? I think it might be. Let me unroll it. Nope, not seeing the mark. So it either is and it's not marked where I looked, or it's not one. But it has a finish to it, so this will be a great thing for bags, or that great outer for bags. Oh, one of my favorites. I love showing people this one. Basketball leather. So this isn't very thick, but it is really sturdy. It's got the pebble grain to it. It doesn't have that tackiness that basketballs have, but it does have the grain for it. Fun fact, because this is from the Horween Tannery. Let me find the stamp there. But Spalding, that makes the NBA basketballs, at least I think they still do, buy their leather from the Horween factory. No, the mark isn't there. I must have used it. And Wilson, who makes the NFL footballs, they also buy their leather from the Horween factory. So you can get from them. Also, I think from Maverick and the Tannery Row, basketball and football leather if you want. So if you know somebody who's a basketball or football fan like that, you can make something for them out of the proper materials. All right, I got another piece that is really big, as in so big I can't really take it out properly. So I'm just gonna go and get an example of how it looks. I'll be right back in like 20 seconds. I'm pretty sure that was 20. So, never mind that. This was me experimenting with a burner. So this is a dark ginger that I got from. I think I got this from Maverick about a year or two ago. And thick enough for small bags, nothing too crazy. I would the bags I would make now, I would line it unless I was making something like a duffel bag, because those are for use, like regular hard, like heavy duty use. If you were making a bag for that wasn't for that, I would recommend a liner. But yeah, I love the color. Great color. Goes with a lot of things. Can make various accents. And nope, that is not what I thought it was. This is what I thought I was reaching for. So this is a horse butt strip. The grain on this is crazy tight. It is really, really hard to cut. I've made quite a few things out of, not this, or I've made a few belts out of this type. Not this one hide. I've made some other things from it. But provided you get one long enough, horse butt strips are great for belts and various other straps. The grain on it's really, really tight. It's really, really dense, super strong, super sturdy. Greatly in favor of it. Shameless ask. If you are watching, please slide me a like. I'm trying to appease the YouTube deities and the algorithms. So if you could please Slide your boy a like. If anyone has any questions or if somebody wants to see something again, uh, don't hesitate to ask. This here is one of my favorites. I've made quite a few things from it. I just love the color. This burgundy brown sort. Really, really great. Not too stiff, so best for bags like maybe a small duffel or maybe even a medium-sized duffel, something that moves really, really well. But if you're looking for a bag that can hold its own shape, it's kind of floppy. You need a stiff liner or a bag stiffener. And Shrunken Buffalo. I love how this one looks. Let's look at the texture on that one. And the pull-up. Love this one. You know what? I think I'm going to make something out of this. I was wondering what the next calico bag was going to be. I don't know. Maybe not the calico. But something. I love how this one looks. Feels great. Really, really good. I can't remember for the life of me where I got this one, though. Sorry. And this is a single shoulder that I've used for quite a few knife sheaths. And this one I believe is the same but much thicker. I'm not sure how this happened. That looks like sun damage, and there hasn't been any direct sunlight on this for a while. I should be using this just so I can utilize something and get it up out of here. Yeah, this is... no sunlight touches this. I'm not sure how this happened. But hey, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to use it. All right, so that's been what's in my leather rack. Tune in later for examples of the exotics. One guy has definitely seen, I think, essentially all of my exotics, maybe except for one or two that I found, because Lord knows I keep finding them. But now that we've done all that, let me know if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or grievances, or requests. I've got about 40 minutes before I absolutely have to cut the stream off and get ready because I got a dinner that I got to roll to. Any questions? Oh, and sometime this week, I will be knocking out another one of these calico bags. Focus. All right. But I'll be doing it in something exotic. I'm not exactly sure what or to what degree. I'm not sure if I'll go full on or cowhide with the exotics on the side. If I get enough people watching, I will let I'll let the crowd decide. And thank y'all so much for everyone who's watching. Thank you very much, Yvonne. I appreciate that. This was a Valentine's Day project I did last year. I was sitting at my friend's place while I was getting all my stuff arranged for my home loan because I was crashing in her guest room, and I decided to knock this one out. This was one of my first attempts at basket weaving. Shout out to Hangfire Leather for correcting my screw ups and setting me straight. But this was also before I started using antiques. So there's this here, and I didn't antique any of it. I think the next two basket weave projects I had, there was also no antiquing. But I have since gotten into doing the antiques a lot better and a lot more. And all of my other examples are actually, wait, no, because this was one that Hangfire showed me. He basically did all of it because he wouldn't let me go hands-on. I was like, oh, what about this? And so, bam, he just did it. And I was like, no. This is an example of something that I did just sitting at the house. It's the dragon scales with the illusion of the body going around. So next time that I'll be doing anything with the basket weaving, it'll be properly antiqued. Might need to bring that down so that we can see the detail. There we go. So yeah, this will be the next big project. It will be exotic, but I don't know if it's going to be exotic here or exotic on the center. Even lightly imprinted thing. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And there we go. There's that piece from earlier with everything properly absorbed back into it. I love it. It's slate blue is the color from Horween there. And I mean, since I cut it, I'm probably going to turn this into something. See what I got here. Yep, gonna do it. It's already out. Make sure it's all even. Bam, done. All right. Are there any questions that anybody's got? Because I'm willing to answer them, and if it's not too time consuming, I'll even take requests. Right now I'm gonna roll up the stuff that I took out. I am monitoring the chat though. There we go. Putting this stuff away. Since I cut the one piece, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the other. Yeah. How much would it cost for something similar to the bag you showed? So just the bag minus the tooling, because this took about an hour and a half on each side. So that's 3 hours times 35. So that's $105 for just the tooling. Could round up and say 120 for the tooling, then the bag itself. So probably like 170, 180 for a bag just like this or a bag with similar tooling. No tooling, just a bag like this. Assuming the leather is roughly of the same price, probably 50, 60 bucks. Something more expensive, like for instance, and this is what I'm really, really thinking about. All right, so obviously not with the with a pirate skull on it, but a stingray bag with it wrapped like so. I'm really wanting to do that, but I'm on the fence. I do have a hide that is big enough without any marking in the middle, but if I use it for the bag, then basically I can't use it for anything else. That's why I'm tempted to go with a black leather for this, with the stingray for the accents. Something like that would probably be maybe a $200 or $300 bag, depending on the time spent. Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and put this bag away. I put this hide away. Something fell down. Here we go. Anybody else have any further questions? Those are good prices. What material is on the one bag? I like the color a lot. Hold on. So any bag, anything that has custom tooling on it like this is a veg tan cowhide. I guess technically horsehide could be also tooled like this. So that's why the price. That's why the price is what it is for something that was just plain like so. Veg tan is, especially that thickness, it's really, really good. It's not crazy expensive. and the build time isn't very, very long. That's why I could sell it for 50 or 60 and it wouldn't be so bad. It would cost more if I had to hand stitch it, but I have a machine, so I can machine stitch that one. Nothing too crazy. I should have just cut a bigger piece so I could cut all of it out, but yeah, hindsight's 2020. Whoa. That's why we can't have nice things. There we go. Boom. Could turn this piece into a watch band. And yeah, that end too. Can't use those. Time check. All right. And I think I'm just going to use a piece. I think I might just rob Peter to pay Paul on this one. Nope, wrong size. Does anyone else have any questions? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap some things up. And then we're going to call it good. All right, so that is it for the small wallets. I appreciate everybody checking in, and thank you for sticking around while I wax poetic about the various different types of hides that I have. I certainly didn't go over everything because, quite honestly, I just have a whole bunch. A lot of them are the same except for the colors, and a few things that they're essentially the same except for maybe the thickness or the uses. So that will come later, if ever. Thank y'all so much. I'm out. Peace.